Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it and we'll talk about it inside. Hey scrappers, Tom from iScrap, and it is already the end of September. Today's September 21st, and the markets have been kind of flatlined the last few days when it comes to copper and steel, even though we did see that decline on steel. So, it's funny. Every week I sit down for 15 to 30 minutes and I go through YouTube comments, and it's really interesting because when I read a lot of these comments, people sometimes they bash me, sometimes they thank me, sometimes they give ideas, and we take those ideas and we roll with more information. The one thing I never try to do is predict the future. I try to tell you what I feel as a scrapyard owner. I try to tell you how I feel talking to scrappers, because the scrappers are you, right? You're the ones that are selling material to scrapyards like my own. And I try to get market information from the view of a scrapyard and push it out there. So this week, let me show you kind of what's going on. If any of you have tried to buy a house in the last 6 months, or even opened the newspaper or read the news, you see that mortgage rates are going up. Why more rates are going up? The Federal Reserve is increasing the interest rates. Increasing the interest rates leads to things becoming more expensive, money becoming more expensive to borrow, and that in turn affects the economy, right? So all those trillions of dollars that were printed, while we saw a big run up on copper last year, we're starting to see a bit of a run down. Now, one of the things that we saw in the last 40 years are trends. For a long time, copper had a trading level kind of bottoming out at 50 cents per pound. That was in the 1980s, early 90s. Jumped to $1. I remember in 2000, we got to $1.50, $2. And in like 2005, kind of when the Chinese really started to get aggressive, we saw that number go up and we hit that legendary, at the time, $3 copper level. So that was great. We also hit $4 copper in the next few years. Throw 2008's financial crisis in there, and we saw a kickback. 2014, the markets went down. Then last year, we saw the extreme legendary $5 copper trading level hit, even if it was only for an hour or two, which it was. That happened, right? So what happens from here? Where's the bottom? Where do things go from? We're trading copper-wise like $3.50 a pound right now, and I think that's kind of the new bottom, the new average price of copper, like it was at 50 cents, at $1, at $2, and at $3. In early 2020, in March 2020, when the pandemic started, copper went down below $2. But after that crazy time period, we saw the recovery happen. And I think that this trading level that we're seeing today is the new normal. And I talked to 3 different economists or very large traders of copper in the last 2 weeks just to get their take. And they are the ones that helped shape what I'm saying to you right now. So everyone asks if I should buy, if I should sell, if I should hold copper right now. And right now, think of today's prices kind of as the new normal, the new bottom of the market. Could we see it go down to $3? Yes, but there's a very small chance, other than a worldwide catastrophe, that we would see copper prices going back to $1.50 or $2 trading level. If that happened, we would have complete financial crisis meltdowns, and there would be way bigger problems than worrying about the scrap that we're looking to sell day to day. It would be a much bigger picture issue. So today's copper prices are still pretty strong. And going through the rest of this year, I would be really happy if we saw the copper prices trading at this level. So if you were going to ask me, Tom, should I sell my material or hold my material? I have a personal philosophy of selling all my material within 2 to 3 days of receiving it. So if you fill up that bucket, if you fill up that garbage can and you're looking to unload and trying to figure out when is a good time, I personally never hold, right? I don't hold anything for more than 2 or 3 days, like 95% of the time, unless it's something I have to get enough weight to sell to a mill or an export market or something like that. So that's kind of my opinion on the non-ferrous side of things right now. And that's what I tell a lot of my customers at the door that are like, hey, I have 500 pounds of barite, or I've saved 300 pounds of brass. What do you think I should do? So I would tell them this exact thing. And many of my customers at Rockaway Recycling, they watch these videos, and it's exactly what I would tell them in person. And if any of you are Rockaway Recycling customers, please comment below. Now, if you're looking to gain extra insight in the scrap markets, we have our exclusive YouTube member channel where we have videos that we post on there. And by becoming, a YouTube member, you'll get additional videos that we post. Sometimes it's once a week, once a month. It all depends on what information comes out there that we want to really let you know that's important to know when it comes to scrap. So what else is going on? Catalytic converter prices are up. That's a really good thing. RRCats.com is quoting and holding those prices for 10 days. We saw a little bit of bad news this morning with Russia wanting to continue its invasion of Ukraine. And I try not to go political. I'm talking about it from a commodity standpoint. We saw India and China starting to give a little pushback to Russia, saying that this war is really not good for the world and not good for the world economy. And even though the Chinese and the India has bought a lot of metal from Russia, a lot of gas from Russia, right? A lot of oil and fuel. Now we're starting to see a little pushback. If you start to see them pulling away from buying commodities from Russia, you may start to see items like platinum, palladium, and rhodium, 3 of which are heavily mined and sold out of Russia. You might start to see those prices increasing. I saw platinum prices for the last few weeks in the $850 per ounce mark. Well, today it's $925. So those little signs that I look for, that I try to share, are the things that help, shape my opinions on the markets and where they're going. So that's just something to keep in mind. We have seen precious metal prices increasing for the PGM group, which means that the average catalytic converter price is back over $160 each for OEMs. So 10 days to hold a price. Free shipping on OEM cats. Contact rrcats.com today. Now, I know that the biggest gripe and complaint that I've heard in the last few weeks, or read, I should say, is steel prices. Oh my gosh, steel prices are so low, it's not even worth my time. And I responded to someone yesterday, and I've done videos on this before, but I'll just say it again because it's the weekly report. For those of you that don't mind hustling, when the prices are down, there's generally more scrap because less people are out there scrapping. So you might be able to increase your volume, increase the weight that you're recycling. And even though the prices are down, we've also seen fuel prices drop, since that crazy prices we saw back in June. So we see gas prices going down. So it's not as expensive to drive around as it was. And light iron prices are averaging across the country around $120. Light iron, shred, kind of synonymous, white goods, those things. So steel prices, while they are 5 or 6 cents a pound overall for light iron, maybe 7 to 12 cents depending on the markets for heavier grades, those are still items that are heavy, right? And I always think about my time. What is my time worth? If I need to pick something up 3 or 4 times, then it might not be worth it if I can sell it once and maybe I lose 20% of what the value could increase. I still think that overall you make more money because you save more time and you can process things. So that's why things like air conditioners, those you should always bring back, make sure the Freon, the fluids are drained out of them, take that apart. So that's a white good, right? With the white casing, everything around it, that you should touch twice. But if you pick something up, I don't know, an old lawnmower that has the gas and oil drained out of it, I wouldn't take that apart twice. Even if there's a small aluminum block on it, that's worth sending right to the scrapyard. Old steel lawn chairs, don't touch them twice. But make sure you check them with a magnet because they could be aluminum. And this is the time of year where you're going to start to see a lot of those summer cleanouts going into the fall, going into the winter happening, where people will be recycling and rotating stuff out. So you might be able to pick up your volume while having depressed prices right now, because I don't think we're going to see these steel prices increasing. I'm seeing worldwide demand for steel decreasing because the kind of push that we saw the last 2 or 3 years is decreasing. Production is decreasing. Expansion is decreasing. Who knows? Recession, not a recession. I don't know. The Federal Reserve is contributing to this, as is the world economy right now. So I don't think we're going to see a huge steel price surge in the next 6 months. So if you're asking my opinion, again, 2 to 3 day turnover on all material here. In, out, gone. So that's kind of my take on those things. From a scrapper side of things, what else can you do? Work with your scrap yards. Ask if there are heavier weights that you can save up to that you get premium prices. Ask if they have customer appreciations, if they have specials. If you call in advance, right, using the iScrap and posting your prices helps you because you can learn the national averages. Well, what if your price is 20 cents less than the national average? Maybe your scrapyard was lazy or greedy and didn't want to put more money out there, but a quick phone call will help you make more money. Or even when you show up, before you unload the material, and I can't stress this enough, when you get to the scrapyard, we have people at Rockaway Recycling that will try to haggle prices with us. Hey, I have 1,000 pounds of wire. Can you give me any more? And sometimes we'll give them 5 or 7 cents more if they ask and they have a large amount. If you have 50 pounds, we're probably not going to give you that. So it's really scale. The more you have, or the more frequent that you visit the scrapyard, the more money that you should be able to make. Now, there's a couple of other things. There's different customer tier systems. We have special pricing for electricians, plumbers that are always bringing us scrap. So if they sign up for our program, they automatically get prices adjusted. I was reading about a gentleman out of Colorado who's a scrapper all the time. He posts frequently on our Facebook page, and he was upgraded to a new commercial account because he was selling so much more material. That's a really good idea. Now, if you're kind of scrapping on the side, or this is just something you do once a month, once every 3 months, you're probably not going to get upgrades. But if you're a consistent scrapper, or you have a lot of material in one shot, it is always worth asking, because the worst thing they say is no. But if you don't ask and you just get the same price as if you have 1,000 pounds versus 10 pounds and you both get the same price, you should get more money with 1,000 pounds. So ask the question. And if they say no, at least you tried, and maybe you find another scrapyard that works with you. That's why price shopping helps. That's why using the iScrap app, whether it's on mobile or the app itself, comparing prices, seeing the reported prices that other people posted, that's what helps you make more money. And tuning into our videos every week. So today is September 21st. Appreciate you tuning in. Any questions, comment below, and I'll respond the next week or so. Until then, I'll scrap you later. Thanks for checking out this scrap video. For more exclusive scrap video content, please become a YouTube member of our channel today. Thank you, and I'll scrap you later.